Hey, I'm John Landis, host of The Apprenticeship here on YouTube with another quick tip. Now, just because I don't have a prop, just because I don't have anything to show you, you don't want to turn away from this one. This is a quick tip on preparation. Many of you are going to be your weekend warriors. Many of you are going to be limited on the amount of time that you can spend in the shop. So the better planned that time is, the more productive you're going to be in the shop, the more satisfied you're going to be in the shop, and frankly, the better your pieces are going to turn out. So as you know, let's say you're going to work in on a Saturday and you don't have any of the lumber or anything like that. See if you can get out, whether it's to your lumber store or whether it's to a lumber supplier, and go and get your lumber prior to the weekend arriving. As I've shown in another quick tip, letting the wood acclimate to the shop is an important part of woodworking. So if Saturday is your day to do woodworking, you don't want Saturday to be the day that you show up, pick up your lumber, bring it back to the shop and get working, because you can't. Well, you can, but you're going to mess something up. So be prepared prior to the weekend in getting your lumber and let that acclimate to the shop. Secondly, there's nothing worse than getting started on a portion of the project and having to stop mid-process. And by mid-process, I mean you don't have to go in and plan on having an entire piece built from start to finish in one weekend, but it's much better to have a process done. Let's say it's cutting all of the mortises in legs to a console table, cutting the tenons at the same time. If you go in and set up whatever jig you're using, or set up whatever router fence you're using, or however you're going to cut your mortises, and you set that up and you get, say, 3 legs done, and then a later time, later in the week or at the next weekend, you go back and do the 4th leg, that mortise may actually be a different size than the other 3, just because of shrinking and expansion, just because of movement. And therefore, any tenon that's fit to those 3 mortises are going to be different than the one on this one. So finish a particular procedure. In that particular case, I would prefer you cut all of the mortises in all of your legs and all of the tenons in all of the legs, so that everything fits the same at the same time. So prepping a procedure is a good idea. The other thing you may want to do if you're, say, able to work on the weekend on both Saturday and Sunday is make sure that when you're finished with whatever you've done on Saturday, it helps you with Sunday's process. For example, if you know that you want to, say, work on the profile of a top or sand a top, you're not going to want to glue that up at the end of Saturday and then go in Sunday morning and start working it. Will the glue joint hold? Well, yeah, it's going to hold. That's plenty of time for the glue to hold. But one thing it's not time for is for the glue to expel all of its moisture. So in fact, you could glue up a top on Saturday night, go in Sunday morning, sand the top down, and do all the work you want to do on the top. And you may find out that a day later, or 2 days later, or a week later, you're actually going to be able to feel the glue line itself, because the glue lost more moisture and shrank beyond the wood. So planning what you're going to do on the weekend prior to doing it on the weekend is the best bet for you to have a productive weekend. And again, choosing a particular process and getting that process done from start to finish is your best bet for a successful weekend of woodworking. Thanks for watching. Look for another quick tip later.